Okay, we got the 17 late model of Chris Matchett. Super pumped to see you here, Chris. We know that you make some rare appearances, especially to prepare for the Coastal.
Yeah.
So happy to have you here. How's the car going?
Not bad. We're like I said, we're using this kind of as a test day for in 2 weeks for the Coastal. They weren't gonna, because the tires are being short and round and whatnot. We had to buy. I bought 4 tires today, so I had 4 tires for practice for the Coastal. But we're also gonna race while we're here, so a little bit of both.
Oh, so were you planning on racing right from the get-go, or what?
Well, yeah, we were. I mean, originally we were just gonna go to the Coastal, and then we were actually Thursday night we were working on it and decided, well, we might as well go this week and get a few extra practices in. So, but we are going to race today in the feature and the heat, so we'll see where we end up. Hopefully bring home one piece.
And so primarily you've been running Actor a little bit. Is that what you've been focusing on recently?
Yeah, we've just been, busy with life and stuff, so we cut back a little bit and running 4 or 5 big races a year. I ran 3 with the Act last year, and then I ran the 100 up to Bangor last year. So we thought we'd try this one and probably run about the same. So.
Okay, so this is your first race of the season.
This is actually my first race this year. Okay. So, well, yeah, this one will be the first for this year.
Yeah. Well, how's it feel to get back in the seat?
Yeah, it's good. It's comfortable.
It's always exciting to get back in
like
that
home.
recliner, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It fits you like a glove.
Exactly.
Okay. All right, Chris, keep it clean out there. Good luck.
Will do. Thank you.
Okay, next up is Shane Clark, defending opening day winner for the late models. You feeling just as confident as you were on opening day, Shane?
The car is not quite as good. It's a little tight. Of course, it's really hot today, so we're kind of chasing that too. Kind of wonder if the racetrack's a little hot, but
She's pretty greasy.
it is. It was definitely the first practice. It was noticeably different. So we'll see what happens. Because it is cooling off pretty quick. So hopefully we can get the car figured out and have a good day.
Certainly, and the schedule of the race day can certainly play into factor, because if you were like the first feature, it wouldn't make much of a difference from the conditions in the heat race, but where you guys are the last feature, it's going to be like 8:30, 9 o'clock. It's going to be under the lights, track's going to be cooled down. Things are going to be way different from the heat race, aren't they?
Yeah, they're going to be totally different, and you just got to kind of keep that in the back of your mind. This place always tightens up, for me anyways. So, we'll just take that into consideration. I have to start in the back, and Josh and a few others. So, it'll be interesting with how the handicap rule works here. I hope everybody kind of understands it's a long race and plays nice, up front.
Certainly. We got a lot of competition. I think there was like 6 or 7 new cars that are guaranteed to start behind you fast guys from the previous week, so you won't have to start dead last.
Well, that's good. I didn't know exactly how many new cars we were going to have. I knew there was probably like 3 or so, but you just never know with the handicap rule. I've been in this situation before here, raced a few times, seasons here, and you always have to play a little bit of defense and really try to pick your lines out there, especially just the way the handicap rule works out or whatever.
Certainly. Does a good job of evening out the competition and putting on a good show for the fans, right? That's what it's all about.
I'm sure the fans really like it. Sometimes it's really frustrating for us, but that's part of it. It's it is what it is. You know that going in, and in the years past, it's helped me out sometimes, and it's hurt me a few times. So, it really is good for the fans. The fans really like it, so that's kind of cool. But it's definitely tough for the 8 of us that are back there most of the time. So.
I can imagine. All right, Shane Clark, the number 21. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Okay, Tiger's not racing today, but I wanted to catch up with you about your street stock race last week. She was a rough one out there.
Yeah, it definitely was rough. We made it a half a lap in the feature, and we got wrecked really bad. So brought her home and see what we got to fix. And she's on jack stands right now, almost ready to go. So we'll be back next week.
How much damage did she sustain?
Bent quite a bit of stuff. Bent both rear shocks. The rear end it bent, and bent other little shit. But she'll be back.
So you kind of just had nowhere to go, is that right? You weren't really a part of the accident, but it just was a traffic jam in turn 3, right?
Yeah, well, there was about 4 or 5 cars in front of me. I saw the 35 get jacked up by the 85, and they all spun, and I tried to spin myself out along with the 47, and we had nowhere to go. Everyone been behind us cleaned us out. So I think the 41 got the whole left side of me, so that's what did most of the damage. But, we'll see what happens next week.
Sometimes spinning yourself out is a better way to stop than checking up in front of everybody. Is that what you were trying to do?
That's what I was trying to do, but I guess it didn't work.
All right, we'll move on to Charlie. Charlie Colby's in the 72 late model tonight. Charlie, how's the car going?
Car's going pretty decent today. We've been fighting it last week. It was the least speedway car we built, and Jeff Bridges built me a hell of a nice piece, but we had a little trouble. We had an outlaw body in it last year, and now we changed it to this ABC body, and we're fighting it a little bit. We got it a lot better today than it was last time, and it's going to be hard to beat that young fella over there. He's pretty good. Tiger is a hell of a driver right there, so.
What do you think? You're going to put Tiger behind the wheel of this eventually or something?
I don't know if I'll put him behind the wheel. I'll probably put Chuck behind the wheel in this one if I do, and Tiger, I got my super late model almost done, so I'll probably run that most of the time here.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I remember you had that Radical Outlaw body for Lee.
Yeah,
You all done with Lee or something?
No, I got race 3 Pro Stock races at Lee coming up in July. I got them 3, and then we'll see what's left of this, and I got 3 of these to do with them outlaw ones. So I got the body. I was going to sell it, but now I decided to keep it and go from there. So.
You decided to keep this?
Yeah.
You having too much fun out there?
Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun, actually. I've been doing this 40 years. That's a long time.
Oh,
Yeah.
The Colby name is very synonymous with this racetrack.
I won a lot of races, won a lot of championships, so I'm happy to be here today. Good day for it, so we'll give a hell if we can.
All right, so we can expect to see you in 2 weeks at the Coastal?
We're going to try. We're going to see if she make it one piece tonight.
Yeah.
We hope we get something for her.
Yeah, don't do what Tiger did last week.
No, I don't.
Keep it clean.
Keep it clean. Yeah, that boy's a good wheel man.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, it was not his fault whatsoever. Good luck tonight, Charlie.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, man. For Heat 1 of the Wood Pellet Warehouse late models. From the outside, Charlie Colby, we got a yellow. Bad start. Colby had a fender advantage, but they're going to wave that one off and try him again. Let's try it again with Alex Waltz, and this time Nick Reno in the 77. Nice even start as they are door handle to door handle down the back chute. Colby follows up in third and leaves the rest of the field behind. And we got 3 wide racing deep in the field. One of them being 12-year-old Daniel Harding. Frankie Moulton is anxious to get through from his last place starting position, and he already picks off 3 cars. Well, that was certainly getting dicey for a moment there, but everybody getting spread out. Frankie Moulton's the man on the move, now setting his sights on James Doucette in the 11. Nick Reno checking out. And it's a 2-car battle for second between Waltz and Colby, your original front row starters. Nick Reno almost to a straightaway advantage at the halfway point. 5 laps complete. James Doucette having one of the best runs of his career, able to fend off Frankie Moulton at the moment. Looking good in the 11 car. Moulton, this time out of 4, found an opening underneath, and Doucette let him have it. Now Frankie is up to 4th in the 15 car. Bumper to bumper for second as Frankie Moulton closes in on them as well. Alex Waltz, Charlie Colby, and Frank Moulton, a 3-car battle for the top 4. 2 laps to go for heat number 1, and it is all Nick Reno in the 77. A 3-car battle for the top 4. Now looking tight in the middle of 3 and 4. White flag waves for Nick Reno. Looks like Alex Waltz might be able to hang on to second as he leaves Colby and Moulton to duke it out for 3rd and 4th. Moulton muscles the 15 car underneath, and he might pick up a 3rd place finish. And he will. Checkered flag flies, and Down to the wire, Frankie Moulton picks up a top 3 in the 15, while Nick Reno picks up the win, and Alex Waltz takes a solid runner-up finish in the first of 3 Wood Pellet Warehouse late model heats. And a nice start to kick off heat number 2. Dead even down the back chute. Nice, tight, even start all the way through the field for these guys. As Emerson falls back in line, single file behind the 81, Ray Dinsmore leads the way. Coming around to complete lap number 2. Getchell fills out the top 3 in the 88. Top 3, putting a little distance on the rest of the field. They are side by side for 4th. Jet Decker in the 01 and Chris Burgess in the 47. Trouble at the tail for the 86. Patrick Murphy slides into the grass on the infield, but does a nice job keeping it going, and we remain under the green flag. Nice job to Murphy in the 86. Jet Decker has made the pass around Burgess, and he'll set his sights on the top 3. The 01 is reeling in the top 3 now, right up tight on the bumper of Getchell in the 88. 5 laps down, 5 to go for heat number 2 of the late models, and it is still Ray Dinsmore in the 81. Jonathan Emerson keeping him honest in the 24. Getchell trying to hang with the top 2 in the 88. And Jet Decker putting the pressure on for the top 3. All of them just about bumper to bumper. Don't count out Chris Burgess and Brandon Fowler. Nice bumper to bumper single file action with 2 to go. As Burgess in the 47 opens up the inside line underneath Decker. 2 to go. Heat number 2 coming to a close. White flag waves for Ray Dinsmore. He has it in the bag with a few car length cushion now coming to the checkered. Emerson looking for second, Getchell with third. And a close battle for 4th and 5th. It goes to Jet Decker for 4th. Chris Burgess rounds out the top 5. Ben Asline in the 15, and Josh St. Clair, well, he's outside front row. Let's go. The final heat race of the evening. Josh St. Clair with an advantage over Will Collins. Slight contact into turn 3. Will Collins making it difficult up front. He does not want Josh St. Clair to clear him. Will Collins fighting back hard down low. Nice run for the 25 as he clears St. Clair, and Shane Clark is trying to follow suit in the 21 up the inside line. Your top 4 is a breakaway from the field. Ryan Ripley hanging tight with the top 3 in that 17, but problems now going into turn 3. Ryan Ripley drops off the pace. Wow, what an upset, just as we were talking about Ripley. He's heading pit side early in the 17. Now it's a 3-car breakaway at the halfway point. The newcomer, Chris Matchett in the 17, leads the back half of the field. Erskine muscles his way underneath, and the 4-car wants to move up to 4th. Two-time Coastal 200 winner Ben Ashline heads to the pits early in the 15. his final tune-up before Coastal 200 on Memorial Day weekend. Two laps to go coming around this time before intermission time. And it's all Will Collins in the 25, Shane Clark in the 21, Josh St. Clair in the 14. Ben Erskine, first time we've seen him this season as well, holds down the 4th place, and Chris Matchett rounds out the top 5. 1 lap to go for Will Collins. What a run by the 25. Checkered flag for Will Collins. I got hung up there, Ken, for a minute, because does Will Collins have a track championship in the late model class? Two track championships in, all right, so that's why I got hung up. 2-time points champion for the late models. Will Collins picks up heat number 3.
Good up front. Pace car will take the turn in. Reno and Waltz get the green. Here we go. And we got troubles right from the start. They got bunched up in the back. Ready to get back at it. Pace car taking the turn in. And here we go once again. Back to the original start. Everybody good, at least through turn 1 and 2. Let's see how they do with the rest of the track. It's Nick Reno and Alex Waltz still side by side. Reno shakes off the challenge. Back into the lead. Brings Frank Moulton with him up in a second. Waltz trying to hang on for third, but he's got Charlie Colby, that is, in the 72 underneath. Colby grabs the 3rd spot, shuffles Waltz back into 4th. And Brent Roy holding down 5th right now. A lot of racing back behind him, side by side for 6th. Jonathan Emerson able to race out around Doucette in the 11 car. The 24 of Emerson now up in the 6th. Rookie Jet Decker follows him up in the 7th. Doucette free-falling back through the field, back to 8th. And side-by-side racing behind him. Everybody bunching up. Doucette goes sideways. That one was starting to develop coming out of turn 2. James Doucette in the 11 car was starting to free fall back through the field a little bit. Had some really tight racing in behind him. Here we go. Green flag once again. A little bit of a scramble into the turn once again. Somebody caught in the middle, couldn't get up to speed. Think that's the 01 of Jet Decker. Up front, side by side, Reno and Moulton. Scoring called them dead even at the line that time by. Reno still trying to shake off the challenge of Moulton. This time he gets it done. Moulton will settle down in behind in second. Charlie Colby's got the 3rd spot. And Ben Ashline is going to drop out early. Just going to try to get that car tuned up for next weekend, next big race. Brent Roy, his best run in a long time. Roy in this 26 holding the 4th position. He's got the champ right on his heels. That was close coming out of turn 4 that time. Some contact between St. Clair and Roy. Brent Roy got it sideways out of turn 4 but gathered it up. 24 late models taking the green tonight. 20 of them still on the track. Frank Moulton not letting Nick Reno pull away to any kind of a lead. The interval just a tenth of a second. Ray Dinsmore in the 81 looking back in that second battle of 3 cars. 4th, 5th, and 6th. Ray Dinsmore racing with the champ side by side. Cream starting to rise to the top. St. Clair and Roy still keeping an eye on that battle for 4th and 5th. St. Clair's tried the inside and the outside. Can't get by Brent Roy. Good head of steam this time for Josh St. Clair. He'll pull up alongside in turn 3. Other cars starting to move up from the back of the field include the 21 of Shane Clark. Clark now in 7th up from the tail end of the field. And Will Collins as well. We got a spin over there in turn 4. That's the 24 of Jonathan Emerson. A little bit of dirt there, but everyone racing their way through. Emerson able to get back up onto the speedway. St. Clair finally able to get by Brent Roy, but Roy gives him the bumper back over in turn 2. That's been a heated battle for much of the race. We are only halfway, 20 down, 20 laps to go. I don't think Nick Reno's had a lead of more than half a second this entire race. Frank Moulton has been stalking that 77. Reno shows in the bottom side of the racetrack a couple times. And you can be sure Frank Moulton will jump on that opportunity whenever it comes. Josh St. Clair now has his sights set on that top 3. St. Clair started back in 13th. He is now up into 4th. And St. Clair right there at the back bumper of Charlie Colby. St. Clair able to get a nose underneath. Quickly takes over the 3rd spot. Will Collins keep an eye on that 25 car. Right now, the 25, the fastest car on the track, has chased down Brent Roy looking to crack the top 5. Collins started back in 12th, and he's knocking on the door to the top 5. Up on the outside of Brent Roy. Roy in the 26. Oh, we got a caution. We got a car that is spun to the bottom. Let Reno had a lead of more than a couple tenths of a second. Moulton strong on the outside, has a little bit of an edge on Nick Reno, but the 77 is the preferred lane, and he pulls back even. Charlie Colby is off the pace. The 72 car gives up 3rd and heads down pit road. Actually took the restart in the 4th position. But look at that battle for the lead, side by side, wheel to wheel. Reno and Moulton. St. Clair's got that inside lane locked up, so Moulton's going to have to do his work on the outside. Nick Reno with the lead. St. Clair moves up to 2nd. Moulton's there, and how about Brent Roy looking for his first career top 3. Roy pulls to the inside. Ray Dinsmore heads down pit road. 5 cars looking for 3 spots in victory lane with 10 laps to go. Joining the party is the rookie in the number 01, Jet Decker, last year's 4-cylinder pro champion. He wants to play with the big boys and get his first top 3. Rewind to 1 week ago. It was Reno and St. Clair in pro stock action battling for the lead. And tonight they're battling it out here in late model action for the win. Moulton regains 3rd. Decker on the outside now. Roy is shuffled back to 5th. Here comes Jet Decker on the outside. Watch that rookie go on the high side. Pulls up alongside St. Clair. Here he goes for the lead on the outside of Reno. Jet Decker. Decker clears the 77, put him clean and into the lead. And 5 laps to go when they come to the stripe this time. Contact between St. Clair and Reno. Here comes Will Collins on the high side. While Reno's wrestling with St. Clair, Collins drives around the outside and into 3rd. This time by 2 laps to go. The rookie Jet Decker. St. Clair and Collins 1, 2, and 3. Reno had the lead for most of the race, but fading back to 4th. Moulton is 5th. White flag and 1 to go. Final time down through turn 3 and 4. Checkered flag is ready. Jet Decker comes in and takes the win. And one final time tonight, let's head down trackside to Coastal Auto Parts Victory Lane. Nick Hoff's got your top 3.
Thank you, Ken. And the 01 is getting unstrapped. What an emotional victory lane for this young fella. As Ken said, his 5th late model career race ever. Let him hear it. Jet Decker, everybody. Jet came out of nowhere on the outside. I mean, that was all the Reno and Frank Moulton show up until about 5 to go. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, I knew the car was good from the start, especially on the outside. One of those restarts, I just made a bonehead move. It was in 2nd, and I thought it was in 3rd, and when I went to shift it, it did nothing. Just hit the chip. But this just shows how hard these guys work and that they never give up.
Who do you got to thank for sponsors?
Randy Keach Auto, RB Performance, B&L Trucking, Polymer Repair Technology, Avon Heights, My father, my grandfather, Dylan Moltz, Mark Brackett, Justin Carcos, and my grandmother and my mother.
You ready to do 200 green flag laps in 2 weeks?
Oh, yeah.
All right, Jet Decker. Josh, awesome run. And one of the key moments in that one was a wild battle with you and Brent Roy. Kind of held you up from getting into the top 3 for a moment there. That had to get a little sketchy.
Yeah, I couldn't get it to go on the outside, and it was a little tough. There wasn't a whole lot of room at times. So, but I'm pretty proud of the car. After taking a quick pit road trip first lap there, it was a little hairy, and then another one in 3 and 4. So I'll take second. And a good run by the kid. He just showed us how to get it done there. So that's pretty impressive. Yeah, I got to thank Dave's World, Wentworth Family Grocery, M&S Painting, DNC, Duvall's Automotive, and everyone comes out every weekend. So thank the wives, the kids.
All right, Josh St. Clair. And Will, this is the first time we're getting to see the driver's side. There was some heavy damage right on the initial green, but I'm glad it didn't upset the setup of the car. And you are a patient guy out there. Just slowly picked him off. That last restart certainly didn't help, but you still made a good comeback and settled with an awesome top 3. Man, she was looking good.
Yeah. Honestly, I was hoping I was 4th, so I didn't have to start at the rear again next week or 2 weeks from now. But we'll take it. That was a wild one. Yeah, it was wild.
And you're so patient. I mean, you didn't rough anybody up. You had plenty of opportunity to stick a nose under there a little bit aggressively, but I never see that from you. So it's just good.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely really respect my own equipment, and I definitely respect other people's equipment too. And I'd rather race rather than use people up. But
well, in the last 10 laps or so, you were the fastest car on the track. And I mean, if we had one more restart, it would have been a good one with all you guys. But you had many situations that kept putting you back, and you just slowly picked them off. Great run for a top 3. Who do you got to thank for sponsors?
Rockland Ford, Beckett's Auto, Swift Storage, Mom, Dad, my 2 boys, my wife, and everybody that helps over there. I can't thank you guys enough.
There you have it. Coastal Auto Parts Victory Lane. What an awesome night, an awesome late model event. Ken, send us home, my man.
All right, thank you, Nick, very much. And thank you, race fans, once again for joining us here at Maine's Biggest and Fastest. Hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you can join us next Saturday night for Group 1 in action, a 50-lap Pro Stock main event, along with our first T&L Automotive Enduro of the season to wrap up the show next week. Again, the pit gate at 1 o'clock, VIP grandstands at 3, general admission at 4, the green flag flies at 5 p.m., spread the word, get some friends to join you next week, and we will see you here one final time on behalf of Richard and Vanessa Jordan and the entire staff here at Wiscasset Speedway. Have a great rest of your weekend, and please travel safely. Good night.